Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Agogi TV. I'm your host Phil Leonard.
I'm your host Josh Summersgill.
On today's podcast, we have owner of Lemon Stem Yoga Studio, Gemma Lineker, and I'm going to throw it over to Gemma to tell you a bit more about her background and basically, first things first, what made you open your own yoga studio?
Hi, thanks for having me. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I've always been into fitness, into wellness since day dot. Like I've just always enjoyed looking after myself, working out, trying new things, and even from being in primary school, I thrived off sports day. Like that was my thing. It was like sports day, love it. Then got to high school and joined like the athletics club, the running club, and then from there just started joining gyms, started joining again more running clubs. I joined CrossFit.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. And that's how I know you two.
Yeah.
And then I was trying for a baby, and I was going through IVF. So I don't know whether any of your listeners are on a similar journey. I was going through treatment, and I was told to relax and not do anything too heavy with my body, maybe just some swimming and some yoga. And I hadn't really dived into yoga before. I'd obviously done swimming, and my yoga journey blossomed from there. So it was from that point of being advised to try it, because I was going through this fertility journey. So I tried it, and I was a little bit, what is this practice like? My heart rate's not up, I'm not snatching, I'm not like running a marathon, like what is this? But something was pulling me back week after week to the class. I was really enjoying it and really enjoying what it was doing for my body and my mind. And then I had my little boy, and I did pregnancy yoga. And then from there, I was just like, I love it so much that I want to teach it. Like, I was like, yeah. And I was a teacher at the time. So I was a teacher at Warrington Collegiate, and I was teaching like health and wellness, anatomy and physiology. And that was my main job. So I was a full-time lecturer there. And then I just thought, this isn't for me anymore. Like Ofsted and marking people's homework and dealing with teenagers, because obviously they were like 16 to 19 plus. I just wanted to no thank you. I was done. I was done with that. Yeah, I was done. And I was like, well, I need to work. What am I going to do? And I thought, what do I enjoy? And it was yoga. Like I was just thriving with yoga and what it's done for me and my fertility journey, and my body changed as well. My mind changed. I became more spiritual. I was diving into loads of breathing techniques, and it just blossomed from there. I went and trained with the British Reel of Yoga. I had to go to Spain to train with them as well. And then how long have we got?
No, go for it.
As long as you need. I like this. This is good.
And then I trained with them, and just as I qualified, I said to my husband, like, I really don't want to go teaching in gyms. Like, that's not for me. I don't want to go to the David. I am part of the David Lloyd now, but this was at the beginning. I don't want to teach at the David Lloyd.
How dare you?
I don't want to teach.
I saw that she was on CrossFit Outworks Instagram earlier as well. I was like,
it's like, oh, it's like that, is it?
I was like, right, there we go.
But originally, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to all these gyms. I just want to teach small classes. And we set up some space in our garage. So we had a garage conversion, and we set it up into like a little yoga space. So I did that for a year. So I actually worked from home.
Right.
But to cut a long story short, I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. because of parking issues and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then I came into the community, and we got a little studio in Woolston, which holds around 10 people. So the classes are really small and intimate. And yeah, the community has just grown from there. Like, it's just been amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's how I got into it.
Sounds absolutely excellent. And now I want to bring back, and again, like you say about your fertility journey, and I just wanted to ask you about it because, like you say about our listeners, and you never really know who's going through that kind of thing. It's not something that people talk about. And if maybe you can give them some advice that from your experience with it, especially through yoga, that might help somebody that, like I say, potentially don't know is.
On me, Phil.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that potentially, if there's any advice that you can give somebody that is going through that fertility journey. Wow, words. It's a hard thing to say that. And like I say, you never know who's going through it. So there might be some of our listeners that you can help out with that. So basically, what would your advice, especially relating to yoga and relaxing, what would your advice be to anybody going through that process? Is probably the best way of saying it.
Okay, you broke up a little bit then, but I think I got the gist of it.
You look confused, so I kept talking, and I was like, hopefully I'm getting this across.
Yeah. So what is brought to me whilst I was going through that journey?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so my advice to anyone that's going through fertility is, I was always told to look after the body and not to do anything that's going to put the body under a lot of stress and strain. Now, I was doing CrossFit at the time, and that was not to say, I'm not saying like you shouldn't do that, because everybody's different. But I was very competitive at CrossFit. I was looking at what the workout was. I was looking how I can do better. I let the ego mind take over my enjoyment at a sport sometimes, or at CrossFit. And I was just told to just do exercise for like pleasure, and so that it supports you going through this fertility and X, Y, and Z. And I just knew that I needed just to change direction. I needed to go down something where I wasn't putting myself under more mental pressure, what it was, than physical. Like, my body was really strong. Like, there'd be no issue with me doing CrossFit or doing running a half marathon. Like, I was super fit, but the mental side of it, I knew I just had to just walk away from that for a little bit, because I was so competitive, and I just would have too many things going on in too many boxes. So that was one thing that I decided to relax a little bit over. And then that's when I found yoga, and it was just as beneficial for the body. Like, I was stretching, I was using my own body weight, and it was quiet, and there was meditation and relaxation, and breathing techniques obviously help to prepare if you was to have baby. Breathing techniques for when you're in the treatment room and you're having your embryos transferred. So yeah, that's the advice I would give to somebody. I would say just make sure that what you're doing is serving your body and is serving your mental health as well. So, because I know I've been a member of the CrossFit community, and it is one of the most amazing communities to be a part of. Yoga community being number one, of course. But but I know that I know
they're not the same thing. You can't compare CrossFit and yoga together. You know what I mean? Obviously, in yoga, like, the breathing is very relaxing, whereas in CrossFit, you can't breathe. Do you know what I mean?
I just just making sure that what you're doing is serving your body, serving your mind. And I just, like I say, I was part of that community, and I'm sure it's still the same. Like, people I wanted to better the PBs and things, which is great. Like that's what it's about, isn't it? But sometimes when you're going through treatment like IVF, you're adding unnecessary pressure to the body and the mind. And that's why it's always important.
It's an extra stress that you don't need as such. And
so I suppose in a treatment like that as well, you I mean, I don't know much about it, but I presume that the more of a relaxed state your body's in, the potentially the more receptive it's going to be. So yeah, I get that. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it was, to be fair, it was one of the questions that we have for you, because we only really ever see it from the other side, where somebody sort of comes from yoga and then comes to CrossFit and they're like, oh, I'm doing CrossFit now. And it's not very often we get to talk to people that have gone from CrossFit to yoga. So it's a cool story to hear. And like I say, it's the same old thing as we talk about all the time. I don't care whether you're doing Zumba or like you know what I mean, calisthenics, whatever. Like pick up so insert exercising here, and does it make you feel good about yourself, and are you improving? Then
See, to me, going from CrossFit to yoga is like, you know, when you're in your late teens and you're pulling all nighters, you're drinking every day. Just like noise, and obviously you get into your 30s, you just chill the fuck out, and like just everything becomes a little bit nicer. That's what the vision I kind of have from it. You've got CrossFit, which is and then yoga.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did go to CrossFit at work, and I did some yoga there, and did some classes, and I would get there early, and there was CrossFit going on, and it was like, oh, you could do barbells dropping, and like, oh, and I'm like, fucking hell, like, oh my god, this is what I used to do.
But every now and again, do you not miss that?
So much noise. I do a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, because I don't think there's a more satisfying noise on the planet to me than a heavy barbell dropping. It doesn't stress me out in the slightest. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a good day. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not saying it. Cool. Yeah, that's the advice I would give.
Cool, and it is a good message, and I think regardless of your situation, it's a good message for everybody, because it's basically saying, look, find something that suits you, that allows you to live a healthy, happy life, and get after it.
That's it.
Which is awesome. So obviously we're in the middle of the whole coronavirus thing for anybody who's listening later on, and you're in the your studio is currently closed at the moment, unfortunately, same as the gym's closed.
It is,
Have you got any plans when you come out the other side? Have you got anything that you're thinking of that you'd love to be doing? Anything that you, do you have members? How does it work? Pay as you go? I'm not sure. Members, you have members. Nice, I like it. Anything that your members have got to look forward to coming out the other end?
Yeah. So eventually, we want to start doing retreats. Nice. Probably start going out to like Ibiza or Portugal and start getting some retreats in.
Can't do yoga in Ibiza.
I was going to say that I don't picture anything relaxing happening in Ibiza.
I have people rocking up like, I've been awake for 4 days. I need to relax.
Yeah, there's some really nice places in Ibiza to retreat and also go clubbing as well. But yeah, each their own. Do a little bit of both. You can do a bit of both. I was going to say, and then go out.
I'd probably have to do it the other way around because I'd be that hungover. Cool. So retreats, and I know you've done a fair bit of traveling with yoga as well. You mentioned earlier that you went to Spain. I've seen pictures of you on Instagram. I think you was in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So you seem to get about the world. What's your favorite place yoga related to travel to, and then what's your favorite place to actually that you've been to so far?
Okay, so my favorite place to go, where I've been so far. So I've really enjoyed taking my yoga out into Spain, like Ibiza. Where else did I go? Went to mainland Spain. I've been over to Italy as well and done some yoga over there. Nice. there's one place where I really want to go and do yoga, but I've just not got out there yet, and that's India. Yeah,
okay.
let's go to Goa. Yeah,
Nice.
so obviously that's where it all originates from. So yeah, it's just so there's some really nice retreats going on there, and teacher training as well. But sometimes I find it hard, because I've got a little boy, and I sometimes feel guilty, and I'm like, oh. And a place like that, you're probably going to have to go for about 2 weeks. And I'm like, I don't know whether I could leave him. And if there's any more mums listening, they might like resonate with that. Like, it's just really hard. You just feel guilty. You're like, oh,
Don't feel guilty.
That?
Don't feel guilty. Go for it. I've just dropped Cora off at her mum's. I'm like, see you in a week. Like bye bye. So they'll come back. You'll come back, and they'll appreciate that you've they'll have missed you. So I won't worry about that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm all for going away and filling your cup up, definitely. It's just sometimes with me, it's just leaving the house, and I'm like, bye. But yeah, I mean, I'm all for that, filling your cup, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And I know there's lots of different types of yoga, and I don't want to come across as ignorant, but I am a little bit. So what sort of yoga is it that you focus on specifically, or do you do different types depending on what you do at the studio and what people are after?
Okay, yeah. There's all different styles and types and whatnot of yoga. You can even incorporate your animals into yoga if you want to. But yeah, there's all different styles. So I mainly at the studio focus on hatha yoga. So hatha yoga is a much slower practice of yoga. Great for those that are just wanting a real good stretch and to mobilize the whole body. Tune in to any areas that feel quite tight, tune in to any areas feeling quite spacious. There's a lot of emphasis around the breathing technique as well. So we use a breathing technique, a pranayama breathing technique, which helps to relax the muscles whilst you're stretching. Because obviously if you're really tight and you're stretching, say like your hamstrings, the natural thing that you want to go and do is hold your breath, where we try to release the breath so that you can dive a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then with hatha yoga, there's some meditation and relaxation at the end. And then we have another style called vinyasa yoga. So vinyasa yoga is a breath to movement practice. So it's from one posture leads to another posture, which then leads to another posture. And the idea is you take a breath in each posture and you constantly move throughout the sequence. So it's a little bit like a dance. That one will get your heart rate up as well because you're constantly moving all the time. So it's movement, stretching, breathing techniques. And then I teach another one on a Saturday, which is power yoga, which is dynamic
Power yoga.
Yeah, I knew you guys would love it, power yoga.
Power.
That's that power yoga.
Yeah. So yeah, it's things taken dynamically. So each posture, you might start pulsing your calves or your quads, or you might start doing some press ups for chaturangas. So we do have a lot of guys that love the power.
Yeah. I think I've said this before, but I struggle with any sort of meditation, and like I think I've got some form of attention deficit disorder that doesn't allow me to sit still for more than 5 minutes. But yeah, like when I've tried to do yoga before, if it's been very calm and relaxing, I've been kind of like I'm already thinking, oh, why is my adductor doing this? And then like I'm too easily distracted with it. But power yoga sounds like something that's not
usually the ones that you don't like, though, are the ones that you need.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So in terms of like your members and stuff, Gemma, have you got anybody that does sort of like yoga as well as plays like a sport, for example? So do they use it like supplementary, or have you got anybody like that?
Yeah, we've got like quite a lot of cyclists that come, people that do MMA. We've got, obviously, I've met quite a few of the CrossFit gangs when we used to train together. They've come to classes. Boxers, they've been. We had a guy from the Warrington Wolves team. He came over and did some stretching. So yeah, all because yoga is amazing for that, amazing for all the other sports, you know, even like swimming, you know, some guys come in and the golfers, so everything, Josh,
Yeah.
all the sport, yeah, it really goes hand in hand.
Yeah, because you've got obviously your the whole working out business, so like all your obviously your sports and things like CrossFit, and you've got like your more work in stuff, which is like yoga, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd probably say that the two do go hand in hand to a certain extent. Still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought everybody froze my end. Then I was like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know what's
alright.
going on. So when obviously I've got to ask about it because when I talk about stretching with people, again, everybody automatically assumes that they're going to be sitting and holding a static stretch for X amount of time, and that's what that's mobility work, air quotes kind of thing. But obviously, you just mentioned then that mainly the type of yoga you do is always revolving around movement. Again, basically what we try and get people to do. It might not be in a very relaxed sense as you do, but
yeah.
Is there any, I don't know, poses or any like movements, particular types of movements that you could recommend for people? As obviously we've got a lot of CrossFitters that listen, specifically for CrossFitters that would help us out. And like, obviously I'm Mr. Flexible, so I don't need them, but you know.
I just think, like, you know, like it's just moving your body, trying to find some freedom in your body. A great one is your tabletop position, you know, your cat cow, inhaling, letting your belly button fall, stretch your heart forward so that you've got that nice juicy spinal curve.
Juicy spinal curve.
I've never heard a spinal curve be called juicy before, but I like that.
You know.
Excellent.
So, where did the name Lemon Stem come from?
I mean,
go on.
Spine.
Sorry, Gemma, I'm breaking up there.
Name Lemon Stem. Well, when life, my end or your end?
He's a bit of both.
Bit, yeah.
So lemon. So, when life throws you lemons, make lemonade. Heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had a lemon tree in our garden. When we went to Italy, we got married under the lemon trees. So I didn't want to call it lemon tree. So I thought lemon stem yoga. There you go.
Nice.
And that's where it came from. It's just simple, really. Yeah.
It's good though, because it's got meaning behind it and it's got a bit of a story behind it. So
yeah.
I also like Lululemon as well. So Lululemon is a brand, a yoga brand. So I liked their like shine to that word Lululemon. So yeah. And
you actually got we were admiring your logo earlier when before we come on, because obviously you've actually got a really funky lemon stem logo that you had on your screen. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Did you design that yourself, or is that something someone come up with for you?
I had that designed. I thought, should I lie?
Excellent.
I mean, we're not gonna know.
You should have said credit.
No, I had it designed.
Excellent. Right, so we're going to start to wrap it up and ask you some fun sort of finishing questions to finish the day. Before we do wrap it up, though, the first question that I want to ask you is basically, I always like to ask this one if you've not swore very much. So what is your favourite swear word?
Oh, I'm always saying, God, how many listeners are listening to this? I'm always saying fucking, like, effing this, effing that. Yeah.
I mean, you've done well so far.
I have, I know.
Not said it once.
I didn't know whether he was allowed to swear or not, and I swore, and I was like, oh my God, am I allowed to swear?
No, it's all good. I clicked the explicit button. We might miss a couple of listeners because of it, but I wouldn't worry about it.
Kids shouldn't be listening to this anyway.
Yeah.
Not our target market.
No. We always joke about about running a CrossFit Kids at the gym. People are like, why don't you run a CrossFit Kids? And me and Josh are like, nah.
No.
Somebody else. I was like, we will run a CrossFit gym for kids when there's somebody else that can run CrossFit Kids for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, best swear word, fuck or fucking. I like it.
Yeah.
Classic.
Well,
So, next question. If you could take part in any sport, like to a professional level, what would it be?
if I could go into any sport at a professional level.
Yeah. So if you could be like, so if you could have been as a kid, maybe, I don't know, going to play football, or like lads always say football, don't they? But,
Oh God. Do you know, I loved athletics when I was at school and high school, and I loved the high jump.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe something to do with the Olympics, maybe.
Yeah, nice.
The Olympics. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
go
like
there.
that.
Awesome. And I always find this one hard to explain, but if you could basically sit down with somebody and learn everything you could from them in a 24-hour period, so basically, and you're not allowed to say Josh because it's not allowed, because somebody said it once. But yeah, so if you could sit down with somebody and just learn everything you possibly could from them, you got 24 hours to do it. They can be dead or alive. Who would it be?
Who would it be? Probably Jada Pinkett Smith, so Will Smith's wife.
Nice.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
That's a new one as well. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Is it any particular reason that draws you towards her?
Oh yeah, she speaks loads of sense. I just, like when someone talks and does podcasts, and she does obviously the Red Table Talk, doesn't she? And I just like resonate with everything that she says, and she's definitely on a spiritual path as well. And she's just a vibe, isn't she? I think she's just a vibe. Yeah.
I think if you're married to Will Smith, there's got to be something about
You've got to be, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're gonna go on to this and that. So obviously, we're gonna try. We'll throw a couple of curveballs in there for you. But we always start off with CrossFit's famous snatch or clean and jerk, and obviously you've done CrossFit, so which is your favourite, snatch or clean and jerk?
Snatch.
Nice. Okay. Pizza or ice cream?
Ice cream.
No.
Oh.
My wife would say the same thing, don't worry.
Yeah. Again, Olympic gold medal or £1 million?
Oh, £1 million.
Do you know what? We're getting more of that than I thought we would. Lots of people say £1 million.
Yeah.
We had
because what we're going through right now.
A fiver. I'll take my fiver.
Yeah.
Just give me my studio back.
Yeah.
Football or CrossFit?
CrossFit.
Nice. Books or movies?
Books.
Cookies or donuts?
Donuts.
Nice. That was a big debate in the team. And I've gone through these in a different order than I would do usually. Yoga or £1 million?
Stupid.
So here's the question. So Gemma can either have £1 million or never do yoga and yet never do yoga again, or yoga.
I'd take the £1 million because yoga is just not about the physical. Did you know that?
So you wouldn't know you were doing it. Okay. So fuck you, Phil, and your stupid question.
Just sat there doing yoga with your eyes closed and not doing anything.
There you go.
Okay. Beautiful. Gemma, thank you very much for coming on today. We really appreciate you taking some time to have a chat with us. Before we go, if anybody wants to come and obviously they can't come and have a go right now, but in the future, if anybody wants to come down and do some yoga with you, where do they find you? And where's the best places to follow you on the social medias, websites, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so there's a Lemon Stem Yoga Facebook page, or you can follow my personal page on Instagram, Gemma Lineker. Yeah, and just message me through there. My little studio is in Woolston, so if anyone's near that area, yeah, Woolston, up in Woolston.
Cool, awesome. And again, thank you very much for being on today. Obviously, if you want to know more about myself and Josh, then please check out the website crossfitlst.co.uk. No, it's not .co.uk anymore. It's just .uk. I forgot what my own website is. Doing a great job. And obviously, if you're interested in being coached by either myself or Josh, there's a form on there that you can fill out. Just fill it out, and then obviously we'll get back in touch with you shortly. And there's also some programs on the shops. Josh's hand balancing course is up and available if you're interested in that. Again, guys, there is some funky stuff coming out soon. We're hoping to get some merch for the podcast exclusively. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, then give us a shout and we'll get some people hooked up early. Other than that, guys, like, share, review, comment, all the usual stuff. Thank you very much for tuning into Agoge TV, and speak to you all next time. Peace.